I would say that this space is like a sensory room. That's my first thought, because there's so many things to explore.
I started to like being alone, having no expectation of what I'm supposed to do.
It does its job lah. Like it's definitely a rest room.
We asked ourselves one simple question. How would our lives change if we just took some time out for ourselves? We'll be following 4 people from different walks of life over the course of 1 month as they ask themselves that very same question. The rules are simple. Spend an hour a week in the room, no phones allowed. Apart from that, there are no rules. Are you ready? Welcome to the Restroom.
Back at it again.
About what you're thinking about or looking forward to when you're coming over.
This week, I remember the state I came in last week in. I mean, a week didn't change much, but I'm definitely breathing better than last week. So the highlights I made it through, honestly. Yeah.
I was like, wow, I get an hour to rest. I get an hour to rest again this week, and I'll get another hour another week. I'm really struggling right now in my life with everything that is going on. Oh my goodness, how am I gonna, figure out all of these things? And transitions are so scary for a single mom. It's just coming here, I was just thinking about, I get a bit of time away, and that actually does fill my cup a bit. That's good, thank you.
I had a long weekend, like very packed weekend. So I was just looking forward to sleep here, but I realized I couldn't sleep. I was just reading and picking out different stuff to try.
At one point, right, the music was going on a loop.
Yes. I never play on this type of players before, so I don't know whether it's in a loop or like it's just that era people like to instrumental them long, I fell into very deep sleep, like soul left the body type of sleep. Yeah, so that was great. Yeah, bro. Deep sleep, bro.
I think I said maybe last week that doing this is pretty timely. I think it really happened when I really needed it. So I think right now, if I'm being honest, every week I'm like using this as like a milestone, coming into a space like this, prioritizing rest, and just an hour with no devices. I think for the past week or 2 weeks, I've just like kind of evaded people because it's too much. But today I just wanted to like take myself out the house, take myself on a date. I don't paint. I'm really bad at painting. I have a lot of like people around me that are fantastic at it. It's very ugly. So I just like did this. I wanted to play with color. And like I think I chose painting today. It's the one thing that I've accepted I'm not good at. So I'm not scared about like, messing up. Yeah.
While reading, I was just like writing down some names also. Yeah.
What?
Baby names. But here are some of the names. Because I just got to know that it's a baby girl yesterday. Yeah! So these are some names.
At this moment, what are you most excited for about being a mom, and what are you concerned about?
Excited to see that, her the next time that I'm going for my scan, just to make sure that she's going to be healthy, right? Like a bit more short term. There's a lot more bigger things, but I will just wait for it to come by, then after I deal with it. Every mom has a lot of concerns and worry. The concern is also kind of like, if I'm going to be a mother that can set good boundaries, am I going to bring down like my past generation traumas and whatnot? All these are like kind of like my main concern when I first found out that I was pregnant. Like I think these concerns also comes when you are along your pregnancy, and then you start realizing things about yourself and your partner, like how are some things that we need to change and adjust when our kid is out. Like my parents, okay. My mom, she scolds vulgarities every single day, right? I grew up with it. And I mean, your kid has a choice to want to, follow through your parents' footsteps or whatnot. But what if like your kid just is a very naive one? I don't know, like we sometimes don't take it so seriously, but I think I also learned a lot from like my therapy sessions, that how little habits that we have as parents will affect the way our kids sees the world and people that they can trust or like learn how to trust. Yeah.
There are a few transitions that are happening right now for me. Number one is the relationship. I recently met somebody that we think is good for our lives in terms of my marriage and all that. Just a life partner. And he met all of my little community here before this week. Really, that's been a highlight for me, I think, this week. I've been single for 9 years. There was never an interest, I think, post what happened to me. So I had my kid out of rape. So that was a big shock for me. This person that did it to me was also somebody that I thought I could trust at that time. So, after what happened and then being in such shock and trauma, I think I remember saying to myself, like, I really don't want to meet anybody anymore. And it took me 9 years to sort of like go, okay, but then it was also like I pretty much settled on just being single. I wasn't like, oh, I need to find somebody. Yeah. Being single isn't easy. Being a single mom isn't easy. Not having a father around for your kid is hard. But there was never that eagerness to look for it. It was just more of, okay, let me just recover here. The hope is to not step out of single motherhood, but the hope is to make sure that this person is the right person for us.
I noticed that you wrote rest is not defeat.
Yeah. So I wrote rest is not defeat on the wall because last week when I came in, I think there was only a few. And over the course of this week, there is this one, an African poet, you know, he kind of like drops these like small excerpts of his journey as an artist. One of the key things he said is like, rest isn't defeat. Long story short, this month has been a slap in my face, basically. I think I'm very connected to my emotions, and that's how I take in the world. I don't think I'm very practical. That's something that I'm not good at. But because I'm so in touch with my emotions, when I go through something and when it feels to me like, oh, you need to be better at this, you are still flawed at this, you need to improve here, and you know, so on and so forth. I think I take it very hard. This is where my flaws are at. It happens every day, you know, of my life, you know, realizing that I'm not good at this or, you know, whatever. But this month is like, oh, you're terrible at this, you know, or that is clearly a very deep-rooted issue. I don't want to lose, like, to myself. I don't want to, like, realize that I have something I need to work on and not do it or choose to ignore it. So this month is just facing the fact, yeah, and it's been turbulent, yeah. But yeah, I'm glad I didn't run away from it, yeah, or like use vices that I wouldn't be happy doing, just like, you know, unhealthy habits. Yeah, so just, yeah, tough through it, basically. That's my month.
There is always something that needs to be done at home, right? You need to do your laundry, you need to clean the table, you need to do the dishes, you need to walk the dog. There are a lot of things that you generally cannot be at rest. But here it's, yeah, there's nothing to distract me, right? And you confiscate my phone. So there is a certain default behavior and connection to your phone. I don't know whether I shared, but I think phone is like drugs. Yeah, it's you subconsciously always go back to it whether or not you need it. Right? And I've seen this behavior a couple of times. Even sometimes when I speak to my friends, they would like, while talking, they'll just turn on Instagram and then just go. While talking, I'm like, it's like weird. Yeah, I guess when you really remove it and not make it an option, you start to have heightened senses on everything else that is happening around you. And I can only imagine the benefits if you do this regularly, where you are forced to kind of like be in the moment and like rest and not be absorbed into like all notifications and day-to-day life.
You juggle between being yourself to being something that somebody depends on, and you juggle from being a worker in your workplace and taking on all the demands that your bosses require of you. You're wearing hats, man. Like it's hats on hats on hat. With all of these transitions that are happening, I'm just like, oh, how do I hold it all together? So when I got here, I was like, I have to look at the bigger picture. I have to look at this, you know. I got a little frustrated because I couldn't find a piece, that dang piece, you know, the corner of the tent here. And then that sense of like, yeah, your life is like this giant puzzle that is, pieces are all there. You just have to take your time and slowly piece it together slowly. It doesn't mean that you're broken or things are, you know, not gonna get fixed or get fixed. I'll say this, that I'm so thankful for my roles. I wouldn't want to have it any other way. I appreciate my role. I'll do this again and again if I could, even on the hard days.
I am very curious as to what headspace I'm in next week. And because of the conversations that we have after that hour, it's kind of like stored in my mind. Like, I think my eyes last week, my perspective of the world was just like solemn, like, oh, there's no help, there's no hope, you know? You didn't see how it could brighten up, but I think this week is brighter. I hope next week will be even brighter.
Okay, see you next week.
See you next week.
Coach Tay, is it my phone?
I was trying to write a story on at what point did I decide that like I actually had control of my life. So I went back into the past where like I was bullied in school, and that was when I decided that okay, I wanted to make this change.
I wanted to like come in today with like a couple vinyls. These 3 projects saved my life at some point.
I just had a very dark day once this week. I think there was a moment this couple of weeks I felt like I failed a little bit in my parenting. I'll read you what I wrote this week. So there will be days as a single parent when everything you think is good will not look good anymore. You'll have to sit with the pain, and as I've heard someone say, you'll have to go right through it all. So when I'm in this room, I do feel like I don't have to care. I don't have to keep the time. Oh, what? It's like a relief, you know.